Are You Visible comes to you every morning. Good morning. And today we're going to do a little reading and then we're going to talk about the power of, one of the way to be visible is to feel your emotions. And that's kind of why that book was written as well, because we underestimate the power of our emotions, especially the ones that are not expressed, in what stops us from showing up online, for example, or in your business or in your relationships or anywhere. Because the key to everything is to feel. Feel. And what does that mean? We'll see that. I'll take a random page, and maybe on that random page, it could be about that. But first, let me put my Facebook page. All right, let's have a sip first. That first sip of coffee in the morning. So you see, if you're on Instagram at the top, you can see the title, and then here, and then there is a little arrow, and if you tap on the arrow, you can see stuff, and then you can also buy a badge. Is that where you can buy a badge? Yeah, I'm starting to play with badges on Facebook or Instagram, where people buy badges, and then you get paid by Instagram and Facebook. So it's like a few cents or $2 or something like that. So I know I have it on Facebook. Does it show up in the comments? I don't know. If you are on the other side, let me know. If it says in the comments, share some badges with Angelique. And then here on Instagram, I would love to know. Would love to know. Okay. Hi, book. Before I go, so I'm about to announce that locally I'm going to have a party. And I'll tell you more when it's, announced. But there are beautiful women entrepreneurs around me who invited me to do a signing event in their stores. And if you want me to come to your store to do a signing event, reach out to me, because I want to do as many as I can. And so yesterday I designed a new banner for my book, and I'll do a video when it arrives to see what it looks like. And also got a little square, for people to buy the book wherever I am, Bluetooth to my phone. So I feel like a little girl playing cashier. I don't know if you were playing this. My sister and I, we played that a lot. We had a grocery store, and then we had a cashier machine, and then we were fighting about who is a cashier. So when I received my square yesterday, so the little white square where you tap your card, or you can even insert your card, and I put the price on my phone, and you'll be able to buy the book wherever I am, as long as we have a connection. So I wanted to share that with you because it's really fun. Oh, what do we do today? No, we did this one, yesterday. So let's do another one. Hum. Okay, I don't know where we are with this one, but let's do this one. Okay, and what is one of the biggest things you have overcome? Something that the world doesn't know about you yet? Or I should start at the top. So yeah, I know what this one is. Oh yeah, let's start at the beginning of the chapter. Otherwise, it's really out of context. So chapter 7. Ladies, if you're reading the book, and I had other messages yesterday from women entrepreneurs that I don't know, but now I know because of the book. And that makes me so happy, because I'm going to meet so many of you, and we're going to gather one way or another. We're going to gather. I believe this book going to gather people that are meant to be gathering. So if you're reading the book in a secret place, or if you're reading the book in secret and we don't know each other yet, Please let me know. Let me know. Send me a DM if you don't want to post publicly. If you want to post publicly, a photo of you in the book somewhere, I would love this because that's so fun. It's a sense of community. It's so magical thanks to the internet, right? But if you're not ready to be that visible yet, then send me a DM and tell me, just got your book. You don't know me yet, but I want to tell you. And I love this. Okay. Oops. Let me take my coffee. Okay, chapter 7. Storytelling is the key to effective marketing. A good story builds a bridge between your ideal buyers and your brand. It gives them a sense of connection. This is a proof of it. That thingy here is the proof. You know, I have connection, like huge connection with all of you since the book. And that makes me think that I need a cushion because I feel like I'm very low on that chair. Bear with me. Book, you stay with them. Here we go. Yes. The story you share acts as a reflection of their own experiences. Humans are humans, and there are universal feelings and experiences that we share. And although we tend to make things overly complicated, all people experience fear, shame, and guilt, and at some point in their lifetimes. When your story resonates with one of these universal emotions, you create a connection that is authentic. But the challenge is that it's difficult to talk about ugly stories because number one, here we go, I'm starting to stop. You got to feel your emotions. And we've been, educated, raised in a society where you are not supposed to feel bad emotions. And then if you feel a good emotions, you're accused of being bypassing or positive or utopist. Or I've heard that a lot about me. You're an utopist. Well, great. But it probably stopped me and showing up in a way that is me. I'm joyful by nature. Does it mean that I never feel sad? Oh, I do. Don't worry. This is the beauty of feeling everything from, bliss to depression and not judging it and feeling it, not bypassing it. Okay, we'll talk about that after I read. Oh, please, I forgot to say that. But if you want to come with me live, please come with me live. And I'm going to put the link. Copy. I'm going to put the link. Can I put the link as we are live? And if you are on Instagram, can you come on Facebook to be live with me, or even LinkedIn to be live with me? Click here. I'm using StreamYard in case you're wondering how is she live everywhere at the same time. It's the magic of the internet. How cool is this? We are at a historic point in terms of communication and building whatever we want and connecting with whoever we want, as long as you have a connection. I mean, an internet connection. And, okay, it says LinkedIn, so LinkedIn doesn't support updating streams yet. If you need to make the change, you need to delete the stream. No, we won't do that. We're gonna keep our LinkedIn stream on. Okay. Okay, sorry guys. It doesn't now. It's okay. Good. We don't need to. Okay, LinkedIn, I don't know what I did. So I guess I'm not gonna change everything. I'm gonna put it in my Facebook profile in the comments. Find the links in the comments of my Facebook profile, so that you can join me live, ask me questions, and we can hang out online. This is the beauty of this. Come and join me live by clicking here. And then you can ask me a question about the book, about visibility, about marketing, about whatever, Q&A. We can do Q&A, you know. I'm here to continue to support you. I wrote the book, but I want to talk to you. Okay, clicking. Okay, let's do this. Clicking here. And then I'm going to share it to our beautiful group. If you're not in our group yet, it's a free community of social media love called Becoming Visible. Becoming Visible is a beautiful community. My dream is to have all these women to meet at some point, and the caliber of experience, expertise in that group, the caliber of businesses in that group is mind blowing. Like, think about it. When you are in groups, especially on Facebook, which is amazing. Like, I really, really like Facebook more and more, more and more than before. For the quality of gatherings you can have in those groups, it's just amazing. So here, let's continue our reading. So, but the challenge is that it's difficult to talk about ugly stories online. In 2023, I was in a program that required me to write a chapter in a collaborative book. That was my first book. I thought I could write those 10 pages without any issues, but I was hiding in ways that I didn't even realize until my writing coach pushed me to get more vulnerable. I could feel the resistance in my mind and body almost immediately, and I was surprised that I felt a very unexpected fear. I show up online and talk about myself almost daily, so why was I so afraid? I was in a session with my writing coach, expressing my concern to her that I had no idea what story my ideal buyer needed to hear. She remained patient with me as she asked for some questions to get my creative juices flowing. If I didn't know you and I was picking up this book, what would you want me to know about you? She asked. Well, I would like you to know how much I've overcome and how resilient I am. That this big idea I have for female entrepreneurs comes from my own struggles and achievements. I answered, feeling a little more confident in myself as I said the words out loud. Okay, and what is one of the biggest things you have overcome? Something that the world doesn't know about yet. I paused to feel the sensations in my body and to calm my mind down. I never thought I would talk about this, but I have overcome bulimia. I could feel tears forming and my palms began to sweat. I was starting to feel ashamed, something I hadn't felt in a long time before this moment. My writing coach remained patient with me, giving me all the space I needed to process my thoughts and voice them. It started when I was at school in Paris. I continued, and it went on for years until I was well into adulthood. I remember the feeling of binging and purging, telling myself I would never do it again, and knowing I was lying to myself. I would feel immediate shame and guilt, and I was nowhere near ready to confront how serious it was for a long time. Well, thank you for sharing that with me, my coach answered in a gentle voice that helped my mind stop racing long enough that I could tell her more. I had buried all of this for so long that it was terrifying to talk about it. But I made the choice to trust myself and my coach. So I thought it would stop once I had my son, but it didn't. In fact, it only got worse because I was in charge of food for the household. I planned the meals, cooked and cleaned, and that meant handling leftovers too. This was the biggest challenge for me. It was a nightly battle, telling myself I wouldn't binge, but then this insidious demon that lived deep within me would confront me every day. With my son tucked away in bed and my husband occupied in his office, I would find myself pulled to the remnants of the feast we just shared together. I could sometimes go weeks without binge eating, but it remained cyclical for a long time. Wow, I had no idea this was something you struggled with. Thank you so much for allowing me to hear that part of your story. My coach gave me a look of sincere empathy as she spoke. If you're open to it, I think you need to make this the focus of your chapter. Focus on the resilience and discovering the root cause of the cycle. What made you unwilling to recognize it for so long? Walk me through that journey in your writing. I was very open to this idea as I reminded myself that feeling fear and resistance was a good sign. I was on the right path. To understand my battle, I had to go back to its roots. My bulimia didn't start in childhood. It crept up on me in my teens during the rigorous demands of my academic life in Paris. Nights fueled by caffeine and sugary treats led to days of overindulgence, a cycle that began innocuously but soon spiraled out of control. The moment of realization comes in stark, painful clarity. The consequences of my action are not just physical, they are emotional and mental. I faced the truth in a doctor's office, admitting to my binge eating habits and the oh my god, that's a hard word to say, suicidal thoughts they spurred. It was a confession that brought both relief and new challenges. My journey took an unexpected turn when my insurance company labeled me as bulimic. This tag, meant to categorize my struggles, felt like a life sentence, a definition of my identity I was unwilling to accept. It was a wake up call and a catalyst for change. My recovery has not been a linear journey. It's been filled with setbacks and painful moments, but those are paired with moments of self compassion and strength. I learned to advocate for myself, to redefine my relationship with food, and to seek help when needed. My husband's support became instrumental, a guiding hand leading me away from my pain and its manifestations. Through this journey, I rediscovered my love for food in a healthy, nourishing way. I channeled my passion into teaching others about gluten free, dairy free, and nut free cuisine. It was a therapeutic process, but because I could heal myself while helping others. As I reflect on my journey, I realized that bulimia was a symptom of a deeper issue, a disconnect from my own needs and desires. I learned to listen to my inner voice, to trust my intuition, and to believe in my inherent worth. My struggles led me to a path of entrepreneurship. I learned the power of digital marketing and social media, skills that became instrumental in my journey to help other women become visible and amplify their business online. My story is a testament to the power of resilience, self belief, and the transformative journey of entrepreneurship. It's a reminder that your story matters, that your voice has the power to change not just your life, but the lives of others. If you read this chapter, I hope it inspires you to embrace your visibility, to trust in your journey, and to believe in the power of your voice. Writing the chapter was very challenging, but it was also incredibly rewarding. I have gained clients from the connection I was able to forge with them through my story of addiction. and they are learning to embrace their own growth and visibility like never before. Your story carries your wounds, and your emotional scars are an amazing testimony to what your business is about. When you share an emotional wound that has been healed, it serves as a reminder to your ideal buyer that whatever wounds they are dealing with can be healed too. Recognizing a mutual feeling, struggle, or desire is incredibly powerful in a world where we all crave authentic connections. Your job is to show your ideal buyer what an authentic connection with you looks and feels like. You serve as their guiding light toward a life that feels better in every sense. I am inviting you to connect with your most vulnerable story that really shaped who you've become as an entrepreneur. When you connect with yourself and others at that level of trust, trust gets injected right away into the relationship with your ideal client. Your story matters. It does. If you're reading this book, it's because you're ready to harness the strength of your story and to vibrate at a more elevated energetic level so you can break through long-standing detrimental intergenerational cycle to free not only yourself but also your loved ones, your clients, and your broader community. And I am here cheering you on always. Yes. So if you are interested to learn more about my addiction story and how I navigated bulimia for 25 years, there is a book called Behind the Power, and chapter 10 is my chapter that I wrote. It was, to tell you the truth, it was way, way, way more painful to write that chapter than writing that book in terms of, feeling that I was excavating stories that were deeply buried to the point that I couldn't remember a lot of things from those 25 years. I had to talk to my husband, talk to my sister. That would remind me of things. And I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that and that and that and that. And then the more I was, feeling safe in going back there without reliving it, but just more like revisiting who did I become through that story, and what are the pieces of that story that can help you watching and reading my books to become more visible to yourself, because that's the point of today. Becoming visible starts with being fully expressed in a society, or we are in a period where to be fully expressed is judged, especially if you're a woman or even if you're a man. A man is crying, oh my god, he's crying, that's so cute. A woman is crying like she's so dramatic. She's always crying. What's going wrong? What are you? So fully expressed means that, number one, you cry if you want to cry, and there is no question to be asked, because a tear is actually something it's a chemical process in our body that an emotion is felt, and then it brings tears or smile, whatever, or shivers. So the more we can express how we feel without judging it, then what happens is that you start feeling, number one, liberated. Because what happens if you bypass all your emotions, the ones that are not acceptable by others, then what happens is that you feel oppressed, and then suppressed, and then repressed. And then what happens after a few decades of this? There is a bomb. So, and then everything. That's why a lot of people, I think, that's what my experience when I look at it. They say, "Oh, she's in her 40s or 50s. She does her 40s crisis." I think what we call crisis is like finally feeling who we are and connecting again with our desires, and not only connecting with them, but expressing them. No matter what others think of you, it's none of your business. What you desire is what you desire. Awesome. So, being fully expressed it means that you are allowing yourself, and it's a process, because when you've been raised in a family where you couldn't show your emotions, so so you've never learned with your body how to do expressing your emotions. Or maybe you're in a family where it was screaming all the time. So, and then for you, each time you hear screaming right now, it's like, I don't want this in my life. And I have discovered stuff like this as well about me. But being like rewiring your mind and body around, emotions are the language of the body. So if you want to be fully expressed and visible, you got to listen to all of them, always. That's the first thing. When you and I, we work together, whether it's in the visibility accelerator or the magic with social media love, or even if we do a VIP day, like a short spurts of work together, we're always gonna go there. And when I'm gonna ask you, how are you feeling? You're gonna understand my question. It's not like, oh well, everything is fine. It's the weather is nice. No. How are you feeling? I want you to right now connect to do like a little scan on your body. Oh, everything is in my stomach. Or maybe you feel that your shoulders are like, or maybe you feel a nagging thing, but how come it's a nagging thing? Because I'm happy. So that's where we stop right away. You feel everything. You can feel joy and feel sad, feel joy and mad, feel depressed and hopeful, whatever. Don't judge. It's like, see them. Yeah, I'm gonna do an analogy because it's Pride Month. See your emotions like a rainbow. You don't question the colors of the rainbow, right? So learning how to become aware of how you feel without judging, that's the part. That's it, the part. Without judging, you feel your feelings as long as you need to, and then you release them. And that's part of the work that I love to teach, is how you release them. But before you release, you got to feel them. And then we have a tendency to always go from one thing to another, which bypass completely how we feel. So for example, you had a major achievement, and I'm going to give you an example. Like for me, in the last few weeks, doing the TEDx, doing the books, my mind's like, yes, what do we do next? No. How are we feeling right now? Can we feel all the feels first and bath in them? Bask in them. So I'm going to give you a bunch of feelings for today, just to play. Hello, thank you so much for being here. I love it. Again, if you want to come live with me, there is a link in the Facebook comments that's gonna allow you to come live with me. So let me know. But so, for example, today, how do you feel? Do you feel bliss, aligned, flowy, creative, sad, irritated, frustrated? I'm just going to go through my list here. Compassion, open-hearted, optimistic, upful, encouraged, doubtful, rejected, pessimistic, hatred, sadness, anxiety, unloved, disempowered, grief, depression, hopelessness. So that's examples of some of the, of the color of the rainbow of emotions. And none of them is bad or good. They are. And the minute you can live in this, I would cry. You see, because I would have never said that or feel that before. Now I let my body speak to me. And then, because when you do this, can you imagine that you don't think of how you need to feel anymore, but you just feel and you let your body express it, then the tension release with this so much. That means you can be you. You can be you. And this is when you start to become visible, because when you start feeling all the feelings, you start to feel that you are fully expressed. And right now, when you talk to me, if we were like, we had a few gatherings in person recently, and I said and I explained, like the best way to explain, the more you do that, it's been 4 years for me that I'm teaching my body to feel. Um, you feel raw, you feel vulnerable, you feel raw, you feel true, you feel there is no other way, you feel you may fall, but you feel that the only thing is to surrender and trust the unknown. And it feels light. It feels to the point that when you allow the feelings in your body, so, you know, I'm able to show up with you online here. I'm able to deal with other things in my life as well that have different feelings attached. And when you are fully expressed and you can feel all the feelings of the rainbow, then there is no more attachment to or transformation. You don't have to transform yourself anymore. So, yes, some people around you, when you're going to start to feel the feelings with no explanation, because you have a body that is meant to be feeling the feelings, that's part of the way we're built. It's our chemistry, it's our biology, it's everything with our nervous system. Then some people are going to look at you like, what's going on? Nothing. I'm just feeling my feelings. So for some people, it's going to be weird to hear you say this, but it has nothing. We have a tendency, if someone cries or if someone, is quiet, or if someone retrieve themselves from a room, we immediately attach a sense that it's because of us. Something happened, and we make it mean something about us. So the beauty of doing that work is that by modeling that person who feels their feelings and there is no explanation or meanings to attach to anything, then you teach the people around you to be themselves as well without saying a word. Okay? So there's so many ways to release those, once you feel them and, you don't put them under the carpet. You feel all of them. The same with joy. Feel your joy fully. Not just, oh, great, I got that done. I'm so happy next. No. Stay in that feeling as long as the feeling is in your body. And then when it's released, move to the next action. Okay? So all of this to say that when you're not visible to yourself, that means when you don't feel and express, and when you repress your feelings and emotions to yourself, you hide because you need to play a role. If you feel really sad and you play joyful, and it comes from a place of, I don't want to be sad, so I'm going to play joy, then it's going to be exhausting, and it's not true. It's hiding from yourself. When you're sad and you are also joyful, because you can have it all, right? And it comes from a place of being you, from the fact that you are whole, from the fact that you are energetic being having a human experience, which means that you have a body, you have a mind, you have a nervous system, and that's how it works. Then you start to become visible, and then you're going to be starting to be more visible online, because you don't have to play anymore a role. You are. I hope it helps. I hope it inspires you to show up today, and I hope that, and I know it will probably activate some of you, because this is the main topic of life. If you ignore your humanness, you are tired. because we are human. We are human, and we need to learn how to use what makes us humans, which is our the mind, the body, and the nervous system, right? So that we can actually connect even more with the part of us that is intangible, our soul, our energy, our spirituality, our thing that is not, you cannot put a finger on it. You can just feel it too, right? So I hope this is inspiring for you. And I hope that if you haven't read the book yet, you're going to start reading it. And then you can get it for other people. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing more about what entrepreneurship allows you to discover about yourself in all the energetics and humanness of what it requires from us. They don't say that when you study marketing or business development. It's so like not talked about. And I think that is where this is also what differentiates, the patriarchy way of running and teaching business versus um, what I see from all of us, women entrepreneurs and female entrepreneurs. We want to define running a business and the success of running a business differently. And yeah, so on that note, let me know if you are reading the book, and show pictures of where you read the book on social media, because I love seeing those. And tell me what resonated with you today about, being visible is first to be able to feel all the feelings as a woman entrepreneur, knowing that you have so many hats on and never bypassing your feelings. And how do you feel them as long as you need to feel them without judging them, so that you can release them. If you need any help with this, reach out to me. In the book, there are many ways you can reach out to me, but you don't have to wait to read the book. If just the topic of this makes you like, oh, yes, reach out to me, okay? And we can discuss about this. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I see I see little eyes popping up here and there. I see a heart. So thank you for being here. It makes my day start in a very glorious way. Thank you, and thank you.